She entered the interview room radiating assurance yet quickly faced ridicule, skepticism, and disregard until the CEO intervened. He nodded respectfully and exposed the reality of her identity. Monica Eldridge did not arrive at Winstead Technologies appearing desperate to secure a position. She entered embodying a woman who had unquestionably earned her place there. Dressed in a navy blue suit with sleek, simple lines, wearing comfortable heels, her hair elegantly twisted back, she carried her resume printed on thick paper inside a tidy folder. She had not practiced any lines because she did not require it. It was 9 o'clock in the morning when she stepped inside the glass-fronted building located off Research Boulevard in Austin, Texas. The rising sun reflected off the metallic sign. Approaching the reception area, which felt sterile and modern, she paused briefly. Offering a courteous "good morning" to the young woman at the desk, she waited. The receptionist glanced over her, examined her appearance from head to toe, and then gave a subtle smirk. Monica remained unfazed but clearly noticed the reaction. "Interview?" the receptionist asked without checking the schedule. "Yes, Monica Eldridge. I have a 10 o'clock with the strategy team," Monica replied firmly. The receptionist tapped something on her computer screen, gave a curt nod, and directed her to wait in a row of chairs along the wall. Without a smile or eye contact, Monica moved toward the seating area and sat down, smoothing the edge of her skirt. The leather chairs felt stiff and cold. Crossing her legs, she opened her folder and kept her gaze steady ahead. 5 minutes before 10, a man wearing a maroon button-down shirt and khaki pants casually passed by the waiting area. He glanced toward Monica and then did a double-take. He slowed his pace, looked again, and let out a soft chuckle. "Deliveries go through the back," he said loudly enough for her to catch, but not loud enough for anyone else to overhear. Monica met his gaze steadily, not blinking. "I am not here for deliveries," she stated plainly. He kept walking, pretending he hadn't heard her. About 10 minutes later, a woman in a lavender blazer appeared and called Monica's name. She seemed to be in her early 30s, appearing friendly, yet her eyes darted around just a little too quickly. When Monica stood, the woman said, "Right this way. We will be in conference room 3. They walked down a carpeted corridor that faintly smelled of coffee and printer ink. Monica glimpsed through glass walls where some people were typing, others were in small meetings. She noticed a few looks not of curiosity but assessment, judgment. Inside conference room 3, 3 people were already seated, 2 men and 1 woman. One man had salt and pepper hair and wore a Mr. Parker suit. The other man had a buzz cut and a smartwatch. He kept glancing at the woman who looked young, pale, and wore bright red lipstick that clashed with her blouse. Monica smiled politely and extended her hand. "Monica Eldridge, pleased to meet you." They answered, but without the warmth she expected. The buzz-cut man did not rise. The woman offered a quick handshake and immediately turned her attention to the papers before her. The man in the Mr. Parker suit tilted his head slightly and said, "You seem a bit overqualified for this role, do you not?" The question lingered like a challenge. Monica responded calmly, "I do not think qualifications should ever be a drawback." Mr. Parker lifted an eyebrow. "Fair enough," he said. "Let us begin." And just like that, the interview started not with interest, but with subtle opposition. Yet, the situation was about to deteriorate further. Monica had experienced numerous interviews inside that conference room. Some sharp, others awkward, and a few that resulted in job offers almost immediately. But this one, starting from the second question, felt different. "Explain your employment gap," the woman wearing red lipstick demanded, rifling through Monica's resume as if attempting to uncover a hidden fault. "You have not worked in how long?" "4 years," Monica replied. "I took time off to care for my mother full-time. She suffered from advanced Parkinson's disease. She passed away last spring." There was a silence. The man with the close-cropped hair did not even feign acknowledgement of the gravity of her words. "How can we be sure you are still current?" he asked, reclining in his chair. Monica maintained a composed voice. "Much has changed in 4 years. That is true. That is why I have spent the last year consulting on several short-term projects. I can discuss recent case studies if you wish." The man with the buzz cut nodded, his expression unimpressed. "Fine. But genuine corporate strategy is not something one can simply engage with sporadically." She looked him straight in the eye and said, "You would be amazed at how sharp you stay after being in this industry for a long time." Her words momentarily hushed the room until another question came from Mr. Parker. "You were a director at Olden Row Partners," he inquired. "Why would someone with your experience pursue a mid-level position here?" Monica remained unfazed. "Because I understand this company is in a phase of transformation, and I am drawn to organizations ready to create something enduring. Hierarchy does not impress me, vision does." There was another brief pause, but no change in Monica's expression. She knew exactly what they were really asking. Why would a person like her apply here? Not someone with her impressive background or confidence, and the bold red lipstick she wore. She gave a slight smile that did not quite reach her eyes. "Well, we are very results-oriented here," she said. "We seek team members who cooperate without taking things personally." Monica answered, still composed. "I believe outcomes speak the loudest when everyone in the room truly pays attention. However, I realize some environments are not accustomed to particular voices." A man with a buzz cut exhaled sharply in a way that almost sounded amused. "Let's discuss figures," he said as he shuffled through his papers. "You stated in your cover letter you led a restructuring initiative that saved more than $4 million every year. Is that verifiable?" "Certainly," Monica replied. "The team I led merged vendor agreements across 3 divisions. I have the records if you want to review them." Mr. Parker dismissed the offer with a wave. "We will get to that. Let us keep things broad for now. Tell me how you handle resistance when your team disagrees with you." Monica Eldridge replied, "I begin by listening carefully, and then I ask more insightful questions. People want to feel understood before they are willing to support a vision." Wearing bold red lipstick, the other woman raised her eyebrow. "That sounds a bit too optimistic." Monica gave a faint smile. "Perhaps. Yet I have witnessed it succeed." Then the realization dawned on her. They were not there to find someone with the right credentials. Their true purpose was to test her endurance. They wanted to see if she would break, if she would falter or give in under pressure, as if she did not belong in that room at all. They were not simply conducting an interview. They were provoking her. But Monica did not respond with anger or defensiveness. She remained composed and poised, calmly answering each patronizing question with elegance. There were times when she felt like walking away, not because she felt wounded, but because she understood they were unworthy of her departure. Still, she chose to stay, not out of desperation but due to her self-control. She was not obligated to stay silent. Instead, she offered them her resilience. What they failed to grasp was that Monica was experienced in this type of ordeal. They viewed Monica Eldridge as if she had to prove herself, like she had just appeared unexpectedly, carrying an incomplete resume and bearing a grudge, as if they were doing her a favor by allowing her to be present. Yet they did not know her background. Monica Eldridge grew up in Bakersfield, California. Her father, Clarence, drove long routes across the country, and her mother, Roberta, was a devoted homemaker. Monica Eldridge worked night shifts at Memorial Hospital as a respiratory therapist. They did not have much money, but they held on to their dignity and passed that strength to their only daughter like a legacy. By the time Monica was 10, she was reading the Wall Street Journal from start to finish because her father brought it home every week, treating it like a treasure. "You want to know where the power moves are happening, baby girl," he would say, tapping the front page. "Not on TV, not in the news, right here." She listened closely. By high school, she was tutoring classmates in economics. By her senior year, she secured a scholarship to Spelman College in Atlanta, where she majored in economics and graduated summa cum laude. Ranked third in her class, she skipped the graduation party and instead packed 2 bags to fly to Boston for a summer internship at a global consulting firm. That internship soon turned into a job offer, and the job blossomed into a career. Monica did not merely climb the corporate ladder, she rebuilt it beneath her feet. By the age of 33, she was among the youngest senior strategists at Hensley Klein, a Fortune 100 company based in Minneapolis. Her name appeared in trade publications. She delivered guest lectures at Stanford and Georgetown. She led teams, closed deals, and advised boardrooms filled with men twice her age. Then her mother fell ill, and everything ground to a halt. Parkinson's disease does not ask for permission. It disregards career trajectories and prestigious corner offices. Monica took a leave of absence, then extended it, and extended it again. Eventually, she resigned completely. After relocating back to Bakersfield, Monica Eldridge devoted herself entirely to caring for Roberta. She managed every detail from medical appointments and medications to speech therapy and feeding tubes. "I can always find another job," she once told her mother. "But I cannot find another you." For 4 years, Monica vanished from LinkedIn updates and industry magazines, yet she never disappeared from her own mind. She stayed intellectually active, took on consulting assignments whenever possible, mostly working remotely on project-based tasks. She kept a low profile because she did not need external recognition to feel that her passion still burned brightly. Following her mother's passing, Monica allowed herself time to breathe, to mourn, and to rediscover who she was before all these responsibilities consumed her. When she finally decided to return to work, she did not seek just any role. She searched for one that held genuine meaning. Winstead Technologies caught her attention, fueled by a private conversation with someone she had once mentored. Patrice Calwell, a young black woman who had risen to senior analyst within Winstead's finance team, confided in Monica, "They are trying to shift things, but resistance is strong." Monica inquired about the obstacles, and Patrice softly answered, "Biases and blind spots," admitting that some barriers in the corporate culture remained deeply entrenched. "You would make waves here, Monica. The right kind," she assured her. Motivated by that encouragement, Monica submitted her application through the standard online portal. Just like any other candidate, she sought no special treatment, no shortcuts, no connections. What she did not realize, and what the selection committee could not have known either, was that the CEO had already seen her resume. Leon Carmichael was a man who never forgot names. A decade earlier, Monica had played a pivotal role in rescuing his company from a deal that threatened to damage their profit margins. Yet, at that moment, she remained unaware of how that past intervention had quietly shaped her future opportunity. He still recalled the moment, but he did. Someone within the building had reviewed her resume and had not forgotten her. In conference room 3, the atmosphere was shifting, yet not in Monica Eldridge's favor. The longer the interview continued, the clearer it became that they were not truly interested in her skills or what she could contribute. Instead, they seemed more focused on testing how long she could endure the pressure. Buzzcut leaned forward and said, "Let's try a quick exercise. Imagine you are assigned a team resistant to your leadership style. What would be your initial step?" Monica answered promptly, "I would sit with them, listen carefully, and find out what they believe the problem is before assuming it has to do with me." Buzzcut smiled slightly and said, "Interesting, so you begin by being gentle." The word lingered in the room like a challenge. Monica inclined her head a bit and responded, "No, I start by being intelligent." That moment of silence put him on hold, but Mr. Parker quickly jumped in. "We operate in a fast-moving environment here. This is not a company where we hold hands and sing songs around a campfire. We need someone who can produce results without hindering progress." Monica's gaze sharpened just a little. Clarity is not a slowdown, it is the fuel. You cannot reach any destination if your team is unaware of where you are headed or the reasons behind it. Mr. Parker gave a tight smile, one that did not reach his eyes. "Well, that is one way to see it." Then Red Lipstick tapped her pen on the table and added, "Monica, to be frank, you come across as very direct. Some people here might perceive that as confrontational. Would you be open to changing your tone if requested?" Monica asked without hesitation. "Is my manner the problem, or is it your ease with women who refuse to diminish themselves?" Red Lipstick blinked twice. Buzzcut shifted uneasily for the first time since Monica arrived. They were still trying to regain their footing. Nobody spoke up, nobody apologized, nobody acknowledged the real tension hanging in that space. They simply carried on as if this was routine. Another question, another subtle insult, another effort to undermine her. Yet Monica remained steady. She did not falter or shrink. She responded with clarity. She maintained her composure without once raising her voice. Her presence dominated the room like a powerful wave, and just as it seemed they were circling back to the same worn-out inquiries, why this position? Why at this moment? Why her? The door opened, no knock, no signal, only the soft click of a stainless steel handle turning and the glass door swinging open. Everyone turned as Leon Carmichael stepped inside. The room paused. He wore no tie, rarely did, just a well-fitted gray suit and an unshaken demeanor. His graying beard was neatly groomed, and though he held his phone, he was not focused on it. He fixed his gaze on Monica Red Lipstick, adjusted herself. Mr. Parker sat up. Buzzcut cleared his throat swiftly. "Leon," Mr. Parker said, "we were not expecting you." Leon raised one finger, not harshly, just enough to hush the room. Then he moved toward Monica with steady confidence. His gaze never left hers as he approached the table, pausing beside her chair before doing something unexpected. He offered a smile, extended his hand, and inclined his head just slightly, saying, "Miss Eldridge, thank you for coming. We've been eager for this moment." His voice was calm and assured. Turning toward the panel, he added, "The chairwoman's seat remains empty," like it was the most natural statement in the world. A heavy silence fell. No one breathed or moved. Monica studied his face carefully before standing slowly and shaking his hand. "Mr. Carmichael," she said, "it has been some time. You still manage to unsettle the room." He muttered quietly to himself, but that instant shifted more than just Monica's life. It shattered a barrier inside the company. The quiet in that conference room did not feel respectful but rather revealed, as if a curtain had been pulled away and everyone now had to confront what had been ignored. Buzzcut quickly tried to regain control. Leon, Mr. Carmichael, this is only a preliminary screening. We have not yet reviewed the full list of candidates. Leon avoided his gaze, redirecting his attention back to Monica. He motioned softly toward the hallway and murmured, "Let's find a quieter place to talk." Without looking back at the panel, she gathered her folder, adjusted her suit jacket, and silently followed Leon out. They walked silently until arriving at a private meeting room 2 doors down, where no glass walls allowed prying eyes to interrupt. The room was simple with only plain white walls, a wooden table, and the hushed quiet that serious discussions require. Leon closed the door behind him and exhaled through his nose. "I recognized your name sooner. It seemed familiar," he said, as he pulled out a chair for her. "But I did not put it together until I saw your face." Monica remained as composed as always. "I did not expect you to remember. You spared us a disaster with that merger crisis back in 2014. "I have not forgotten what real leadership entails," she replied, nodding briefly. Leon shook his head slowly, a look of disappointment crossing his features. "I doubt those in that room would agree." "I am not surprised. That group is just holding on for now. They do not determine who leads this company. I do." "Then why am I here?" she asked directly. He studied her for a moment. "Because Patrice Calwell sent me your resume and declared you as the future this company desperately needs." She was right. "Also, because we are starting fresh, Monica, not just symbolically, but genuinely, quietly and firmly from within." Monica tilted her head slightly. "Do you believe one person can repair a shattered culture?" "I believe the right individual can," he answered. "And I am not offering you a middle management role. I want you to occupy a position where expectations are low, but where you will stand out and be heard." She inhaled deeply, not from surprise but from deliberate thought. "Chairwoman," she echoed. "Why me?" "Because you have already succeeded in tougher environments, under greater pressure, and without proper recognition," he said. "They tried to sideline you, but you proved them wrong." "Because you will deeply unsettle everyone who has grown complacent." Monica reclined in her chair, contemplating. "Will I have the authority to overhaul things?" she inquired. "Full authority," he replied. "Policy adjustments are yours to decide, and hiring decisions rest with you. You establish the rules." She studied him intently, and when they resist, Leon shrugged slightly and said, "Then they are free to leave." Monica hesitated. "I am not interested in being a figurehead," she stated firmly. "I am not here for mere publicity. If I take this on, I intend to transform everything completely." He smiled. "That is exactly what I am expecting." A knock sounded on the door, but Leon ignored it. "They are already aware," he remarked vaguely. "Half the floor observed me enter. Rumors are likely spreading." "I do not need applause," Monica responded. "Just the space to accomplish the work, and you will have it," he assured. She gave a small nod. "Then we are finished here." Leon rose and extended his hand again, this time as more than a formality, an endorsement. She accepted it, yet shock was rippling throughout the halls. Not everyone was prepared for what followed. News did not merely trickle through the office, it disseminated like heat through metal. By the moment Monica and Leon left that meeting room, people were trying to avoid staring. Workstations that had been humming with subdued conversations suddenly became more alert. Screens emitted a brighter glow. Keystrokes sounded louder. Yet eyes kept drifting toward their direction. It was irrelevant that no formal announcement had been issued. The news had already spread. People saw her exit the interview room and then noticed her walking alongside the CEO. No one required an email to figure it out. The 3 interviewers from earlier remained in conference room 3. Monica walked past them without a glance, but Leon hesitated in the doorway. He said simply, "We will follow up this afternoon. Do not jump to conclusions until then." Mr. Parker seemed like he wanted to say something but held back. In the elevator, Leon turned to Monica. "I understand what you faced this morning. I know what was said." She met his eyes steadily. "Then I hope you also realize what was left unsaid, but implied." He nodded slowly. "That is precisely why you are here." Monica went back to her car quietly. She neither hurried nor shed tears. She did not call anyone but drove to a small cafe on South Lamar. She ordered black coffee and sat at a corner table watching the door. Only after the second sip did everything start to sink in. This was not merely a new title. It was a restoration of what had been lost. Meanwhile, at Winstead Technologies, things were far from calm. Patrice Calwell received a notification in her work chat asking, "Is it true she is the new chairwoman?" She did not respond. In the break room, 2 analysts whispered over their microwaved lunches. "Wait, is she that Monica Eldridge from Hensley Klein?" "Looks like it." Carmichael escorted her personally. Some murmured support, others expressed fear, and many worried that the old leadership might finally be displaced. Monica Eldridge waited nervously outside Leon's office for more than 10 minutes before finally knocking on his door. He motioned for her to enter but remained seated. "I want to clear the air," she said cautiously. "Earlier I might have sounded too blunt." Leon remained silent. "I just want to make it clear that my intention was never to—" "You do not need to finish that sentence," he interrupted calmly. "But you will participate in a comprehensive review of every interview you have conducted over the past 2 years. She blinked in surprise. "Is that truly necessary?" "I would say it is long overdue," he answered without showing any emotion. She swallowed hard, nodded once, and left the room. Later that afternoon, Monica received an official offer. It was more than just a leadership role. It was a proposal to transform the company's management structure, reevaluate recruitment procedures, revise the employee handbook, and lead the diversity committee not just in name, but through real initiatives. She did not accept immediately, choosing instead to request individual meetings with each executive director. No assistance or agenda, just 1 hour each. Some responded quickly, others took longer. But all understood what this signified. This was not simply a job offer, but a fundamental change. That evening, Monica sat at her kitchen table, reviewing internal memos and company policies. Leon had provided documents on legal compliance, workforce demographics, leadership, and promotion patterns. Everything was there. Most of it did not surprise her. The statistics confirmed what she had seen in the interview room, and at that moment, Monica smiled for the first time that day, not from satisfaction, but from a newfound understanding. She was fully aware of what had to be done, but this situation was no longer just about her. Monica Eldridge arrived for her first official day 2 weeks later. She did not enter through the back entrance. she did not use the private elevator. Instead, she confidently walked through the main doors of Winstead Technologies at 8 o'clock in the morning. Holding a leather portfolio and dressed in a dark green blouse paired with tailored slacks, her calm demeanor communicated clearly. "I am not here for praise, I am here for results." The receptionist who had greeted her on the interview day stood up even before Monica reached the counter. "Miss Eldridge, good morning, welcome back." Monica returned a courteous smile and asked, "Is Patrice in yet?" The receptionist replied, "I believe so. I'll inform her that you are on your way upstairs." People could not help but notice her presence as she entered the elevator. Conversations suddenly hushed, and many became cautious. Some were uncertain about what her arrival signified, while others deliberately avoided eye contact, keeping their voices low and comments to a minimum. Monica remained unfazed. She was not there to win friends or create adversaries, but to lay the foundation for something lasting beyond herself. By 9 a.m. she was seated at a closed-door meeting with senior executives, including 11 directors, 3 vice presidents, Leon, and 2 members of human resources. Monica stood firm with no slideshow or charts. She calmly posed a question, scanning the room slowly. "How many of you can genuinely say that you have been challenged in a meaningful way by someone who does not resemble you?" The room fell silent. She waited patiently until one of the directors, a woman in her 50s with a precise bob haircut, responded. Clearing her throat, Monica Eldridge said, "I do not believe we dislike being challenged." "That was not what I asked," she added. There was a pause. "I have examined every hiring report, promotion document, and disciplinary record from the past 5 years," she went on. "I have noticed patterns. Some are unconscious, while others are quite deliberate, and that is acceptable because now it is my responsibility to address them." A vice president leaned in cautiously and asked, "What exactly do you mean by address them?" Monica responded, firmly, "I intend to overhaul everything from policies to culture to accountability." Some faces tensed up. Monica continued, "There will be training to counteract biases, obligatory exit interview reviews, and anonymous feedback in performance evaluations. If any of these measures seem unnecessary to you, you might want to reconsider remaining in leadership." This was not a threat, but a conscious choice. In the weeks that followed, Monica settled into a steady routine of meetings, listening, reviewing, and making corrections. She did not storm in with catchphrases or grand declarations. Instead, she moved deliberately and with focus. She began holding weekly office hours where anyone in the company, from the janitor to the junior analyst, could come and speak with her without an appointment. During the first week, no one showed up. The second week, 3 people came by. By the third week, her assistant had to organize appointments in blocks. Stories poured in. A woman passed over for promotion 3 times, a black engineer whose idea was credited to another team, a new employee with incomplete orientation materials. Monica Eldridge noticed that the harassment policies listed were outdated by 5 years. She diligently took notes and followed up in a calm but determined manner. She never raised her voice or reminded anyone of what had transpired during her interview, because there was no need. The building itself seemed to remember. One afternoon, Patrice entered her office carrying a tray of coffee and said, "You have people in IT saying you are the reason they're staying." Setting down the cups, she added, "And one guy in marketing swears you are secretly the new CEO." Monica chuckled quietly and replied, "Tell him I do not want the CEO's position. I am far too occupied actually running things. Patrice raised an eyebrow and asked, "You all right?" Monica assured her, "I am fine, and we are only getting started." Even with a seat at the table, Monica understood that the real work was just beginning. One evening, shortly after 6:30, Monica Eldridge sat by herself in her new corner office. The building had grown silent as most employees had already left for the day. Outside her window, the sky shifted from golden hues to shades of gray, while downtown Austin flickered to life in the distance. She remained still, one hand resting on a yellow legal pad, and the other holding a cooling cup of tea. Her desk was neat, featuring only a framed picture of her parents, a closed laptop, and a stack of folders labeled Internal Review. There was no grand moment, no parade, no loudspeaker announcement or glossy photos in company newsletters, and that was precisely how she preferred it. For Monica, the victory was not the title, but the subtle transformation and the understanding looks exchanged. The hesitation and dismissal vanished as employees finally found the courage to speak up. Interns held their heads a little higher after witnessing someone like Monica Eldridge at the top, not smiling just for show but making impactful decisions. She reflected on that interview, the way they scrutinized her tone, examined her resume, and judged her presence in the room. They were oblivious to what they were truly witnessing. Perhaps that was the moment she shared with her late mother her aspiration to work in strategy. Roberta had told her, "Baby, they will try to quiet your voice but never surrender the volume." Monica hadn't. She continued speaking clearly, confidently, loud enough to build something enduring. This is the truth nobody tells you about power. It isn't always handed over willingly. Often you enter a space already bearing it. Those who attempt to diminish you only highlight the magnitude of your strength. Monica did not transform company culture in one day. She did not instantly eradicate workplace bias. However, she demonstrated one crucial truth, even without articulating it directly. You don't have to plead for your place. You are the place. Now she was expanding the circle, creating a longer table. Silently, she grabbed her coat and switched off the light, without drama or a farewell speech, just a steady determination in every step as she walked out. Tomorrow she would return, the following day as well, and every day after until what once was an exception became the norm. If you have ever been underestimated, remember this story. If you have ever been dismissed or felt pressured to diminish yourself to belong, do not lessen your presence. Claim your place. And if that place is not available yet, create your own. Subscribe if you believe that true power does not always roar. Sometimes it quietly appears day after day until the environment transforms.